Right, so get ready, because today we are going deep on a movie that really sticks with you. It Follows, from 2014.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I know this one.
that one, a college student, kind of an innocent encounter, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
she's being followed by this shape-shifting, relentless being.
Right.
What I think is so fascinating about this movie is
Yeah.
it just gets under your skin, and it uses this slow burn tension
Totally.
and symbolism instead of like cheap jump scares.
It's so creepy.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, too, how it takes that classic monster, like
Right.
that trope, and turns it into something so personal
Yeah.
and, like, terrifyingly ordinary.
Oh, yes.
Because it's not some creature,
Exactly.
like, from another dimension or anything. It
Right.
can look like anyone.
Yeah.
So that makes it even more creepy.
Like you're just sitting on the bus and then you're like,
Right, exactly.
wait a second.
Oh, my God.
Is that it?
Is that the thing?
And the film uses these long takes
Yeah.
to just really emphasize this constant paranoia.
Yeah.
Remember that scene where Jay's at the pool?
Oh, yeah.
The camera is panning
Yeah.
over the whole pool, and you are right there with her,
Right.
scanning every face.
You're, like, looking for it.
Is it that person? Is it that person?
Absolutely. It's so good.
It's like the film itself is participating in this hunt,
Yeah.
mirroring Jay's anxiety.
It's true.
And you're just constantly on edge.
Yeah, the director, David Robert Mitchell, I think he really understands that what you don't see can be so much more terrifying
Oh, for sure.
than anything that you actually do see.
Absolutely.
And then that slow pacing of the entity, like, it's not about speed at all. It's about inevitability.
Right.
Like, it just keeps coming,
It's inescapable.
You can try and outrun it. You can try and distract yourself.
Yeah.
But it's going to get you.
Yeah, and the curse is transmitted through sexual encounters, which I think adds a whole other layer of complexity.
Oh, totally.
It's not about, like, demonizing sex itself,
No.
but it's about, like, exploring the anxieties and vulnerabilities
Right.
that come with intimacy.
Yeah, it's like that primal fear
Yes.
of the unknown consequences of your actions. This idea that one simple choice
Right.
could have these huge
Yes.
and terrifying consequences.
I love how the film uses water imagery, especially pools,
Oh, interesting.
to reinforce this idea.
Okay.
Like, pools, they're for leisure and relaxation,
Yeah.
but they can also be dangerous.
Sure.
You're submerged.
Mm-hmm.
You're vulnerable.
Right.
You never know what's lurking beneath the surface.
Oh, wow.
It's just like this visual metaphor
kind of like that.
for the unseen dangers of intimacy.
So smart.
And then there's also this permeating feeling of isolation
Yeah.
throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
Like, Jay's friends, they want to help her,
Right.
but they can't see the entity.
They can't see it.
So it's like she's trapped in this world
Right.
that no one else can understand.
That's so scary. Yeah. Isolation. I mean, I think it really speaks to the universal experience of going through something.
Yes.
Whether it's traumatic or just something really personal
Right.
that other people just don't get,
Yeah.
even if they want to.
Exactly.
You're alone in your fear.
Yeah, and it makes it so much more terrifying.
Absolutely.
And it's all happening
Oh, my God.
in this idyllic suburban setting,
Right.
which makes it even creepier.
It's like so,
You got these manicured lawns,
yeah.
these sunny days, kids riding bikes.
Yeah.
But there's this underlying sense of dread
Oh, for sure.
that just,
Like seeps into everything.
like, everywhere.
Yeah. It's so smart.
Right.
It's like the opposite of suburbia
Yes.
as a safe haven.
Yeah, the entity doesn't discriminate.
Right.
It doesn't care about your zip code
It doesn't care about anything.
or how much money you make. It can follow you anywhere.
That's so true.
Speaking of expectations,
Yeah.
let's talk about the visual style of the film. It has this timeless aesthetic with retro TVs next to modern cars,
Yeah, I noticed that.
creating this dreamlike atmosphere.
It's a very unsettling.
It's like the film exists outside of time,
Right. Yeah.
making it both familiar and strange.
Very strange.
And the cinematography,
Yeah.
the long takes, the wide shots,
Mm.
the constant camera movement,
Yeah.
it's all designed to keep you off balance.
Totally.
Unsure of where the threat is going to come from next,
Mm.
the camera will linger on empty spaces,
Yeah.
making you look at every corner of the frame,
You're like looking for clues.
searching for the entity.
Totally.
You're participating in the suspense,
Yeah.
just like the characters.
Absolutely. It's so effective.
Right.
Yeah. He's like saying, look closer.
Yes.
The danger is always there.
Exactly.
Lurking just out of sight.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, totally.
And the soundtrack, it's like hypnotic.
Oh, yeah.
This blend of 80s synth.
Totally.
And like these eerie, dissonant tones.
It's so creepy.
It's almost like the music itself is a character in the film.
Yeah.
Amplifying this sense of unease and foreboding.
Oh, for sure.
And like, there's this one recurring theme that plays whenever the entity's near.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know it's coming, but it still sends chills down your spine.
Every time.
Yeah.
Disaster piece.
Yeah.
That's the composer, right?
Yes.
I think he does such a great job of just using sound to like really create that palpable sense of dread.
Yeah, and it's not just like loud noises.
No.
Or jump scares.
Years.
It's subtle. It's these subtle shifts in tone and texture.
Totally.
That just get under your skin. You're on high alert.
Right.
Anticipating the next terrifying encounter.
Exactly.
Speaking of encounters,
yeah,
I think one of the most disturbing aspects of the film is that the entity can take the form of anyone.
Right.
It could be a stranger, a friend, even a loved one.
So messed up.
It preys on like your deepest fears and insecurities.
Well, for sure.
Twisting them into something monstrous.
Yeah, you don't know who to trust.
It makes you think about like
right.
the masks that people wear in everyday life. Like,
yeah.
Who are they really underneath?
Right. Like, what are they hiding?
Yeah.
That's what the movie makes you think about.
And then there's this ambiguity.
Oh, yeah.
We never learn the entity's origin or its motivations or even its true nature.
Right. It's just there.
It's simply there.
Like relentless force.
Yeah. What do you think it represents?
Oh, it's a good question.
I've heard so many interpretations, like a metaphor for STDs.
Okay.
Or the fear of growing old or the consequences of our actions. But the brilliance of the film is it doesn't offer any easy answers.
Exactly.
It throws these ideas out there.
Yeah.
And lets you grapple with them.
I think it just invites viewers to like project their own fears and anxieties onto it, which makes it even more personal and unsettling.
Yeah, like for one person, it might be the fear of failure.
Totally.
For another person, it could be like the weight of past trauma.
Yeah.
It's like a blank canvas.
It really is.
That we paint our own anxieties onto.
So true.
Speaking of anxieties, can we talk about the ending?
Oh, yeah.
One of the most debated endings, I think, in horror cinema. Jay and Paul are walking down the street, holding hands. They seem safe for now.
Yeah.
But then the camera pans.
Right.
And we see a figure in the distance.
Yeah.
Walking towards them.
Walking towards them.
Is it the entity? Is it just some random person? The film leaves us hanging.
Doesn't it?
It forces us to confront our own sense of unease.
Right.
I think it's a stroke of genius.
Totally.
He could have given us a neat little resolution. But instead, he chooses ambiguity.
Yeah.
Forcing us to grapple with these implications.
Right.
Long after the credits have rolled.
It stays with you. We're
left with this lingering sense of dread.
Yes.
The knowledge that...
Like even in happy moments.
Yeah.
That darkness is still lurking.
Yeah, there's no true escape.
Right.
From the things that haunt us.
Yeah.
We can try to outrun them.
Yeah.
But they'll always be there.
Right.
Waiting to reappear.
Yeah, lurking in the shadows.
Such a chilling thought.
It is. It really speaks to the power of the film as like a piece of horror.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about scares. It's about those fears deep within us.
That we try to suppress.
Right. That we can never fully escape.
It's a film that lingers in your mind.
Oh, totally.
Makes you question reality itself.
It really does.
It's not just the psychological terror, though, right?
Yeah.
It also has this interesting coming-of-age element.
Oh, totally.
These teenagers on the cusp of adulthood, dealing with anxieties and hormones, and then they get hit with this curse.
Right, exactly.
That forces them to grow up really fast.
Yeah, like their transition into adulthood is being mirrored by this like external threat.
Yes.
This force that represents all the anxieties.
Right, all the responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly.
Of growing up, they're literally being stalked
by
the consequences of their choices.
Oh, that's such a good point.
Which is a powerful metaphor.
Sure.
And the film doesn't shy away from these moral dilemmas. Like, if the only way to survive is to pass it on, what do you do?
Oh, man.
It challenges your ethics.
Totally.
It makes you think, how far would you go?
Yeah. Would you be willing
to protect yourself?
To sacrifice somebody else? I mean, it's such a classic horror trope. That idea of, like, self-preservation.
Yeah.
But I think it handles it really well.
Yeah, with nuance.
Yeah.
The characters are wrestling with guilt and the weight of their
I
decisions.
didn't really feel for them.
Yeah, there are no easy answers.
Yeah.
It's like even when faced with this unimaginable horror,
Right.
we're still capable of great kindness,
Totally.
but also profound selfishness.
Yeah, it makes you think.
Yeah. What would you do?
Right.
Would you put someone else's life at risk?
It's a tough question.
To save your own, it's chilling.
I don't know the answer.
I don't know either.
I think that's why it sparked so much discussion.
Yes.
Because it gets under your skin and it just stays with you.
It demands to be analyzed, dissected, debated.
Totally.
I think that's why it's had such a lasting impact
Yeah.
on the horror genre.
It's not just a scary movie.
Right.
It's a movie that makes you think about, like...
Yes, the nature of fear, mortality,
Right.
the choices we make.
When you're confronted with the unknown.
Yeah, exactly.
It also shows just how powerful atmosphere and suggestion can be.
Oh, yeah.
In horror.
It doesn't rely on cheap jump scares.
No, not at all.
Or gore.
It's like slow and methodical.
It builds the tension slowly.
Yeah.
Using sound, visuals, symbolism.
To create a truly unsettling experience.
It reminds us that the things that go bump in the night aren't the scariest thing.
It's our own inner demons.
Yes, the fears and anxieties within us.
Yeah, those are way more terrifying.
Gail said.
I think that's a good note to end on.
In it follow.
It's a film that will continue to haunt and provoke audiences.
For years to come, yeah, it's a modern horror classic.
Totally, it deserves all the praise.
So if you haven't seen it,
definitely check it out.
But just be prepared to sleep with the lights on.
For a while, at least.
And if you have seen it, let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, what did you think?
What resonates with you the most?
What fears does it tap into for you?
We want to know.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time.
Keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
And keep those eyes peeled.
For anything that seems to be following you.
A little too closely.